All right, hell yeah, let's do it. So we got some new brake pads, and guess what? It's just tight as hell. This is the problem everyone has. You know what I mean? You throw in new brake pads, and there's just literally no room. Let's see. Well, I don't hear it that much. You know, don't hear any. But yeah, it's definitely slowing itself down. And check it out. Like there's just nothing. There's no play in that brake. You know what I mean? It is just screaming tight. And we want a little wiggle room. So it's because the pistons, you know, stick out. You can't get the pistons back in. And I'm going to show you there's too much fluid in the system. And I'm going to show you how to get a wedge in there. And then put a little back pressure in the system, and then cap it all. So let's do that whole process. We need let's see what we need. I think this is like a 2.5. No, this is the 3. So we definitely need the 2.5. Whoa, I was doing this all last night, so all my tools might be all over the place. But okay, so we're gonna unscrew this. You know what I mean? Get this little, we gotta get the brake pad out. So here's a little catch right there. Ooh, small part alert. Holy Toledo, I hate these small parts. Okay, got it out. All right, get the gloves back on. Oh, but let's get our chain. You know what I mean? We'll have to take the wheel out. So we're gonna get that there, and man, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna assess kind of where that B screw is, and these things are just a nightmare. You know what I mean? Because they're all tight as hell on these new derailleurs. So if I'm taking the wheel off, I'm just making this flush. Okay, there's no pressure on that. Perfect. And it'll just make it so much easier to get the rear wheel out. Okay, so we got that going. And I don't know why I didn't take the rear wheel out first. Yeah, there's definitely just a little order of operation to this. Oh, okay, let's whoa, do we need a 6, eh? All right, we need a 6 Allen key for this. This is on there pretty good. Like 14 Newton meters or something. But anyway, so that's unscrewing. Let's see. Get a little pressure on it. Pop that out. All right, hell yeah. So now our derailleur should just come out just nice and easy. That B screw won't get in the way. Okay, so what we got going here? Well, we're gonna try to push one side up. I don't know. Sometimes there's a way to make these simpler to get out. But yeah, you can always just kind of loosen the goose. Let's see. And if I just kind of loosen it on one side, let's see. Sometimes I have luck. Where are we at? Man. Okay, there you go. Sometimes you can pop it up, but I definitely like the turn method. 90 degrees, and then we're pulling that out. So we're just going to put that right there. Okay, now I don't know if you can see. This is the best shot I'm going to give you. But the pistons are still sticking out just a touch. You know, you'd be like, I don't see nothing. But so this is where I was using this wedge, and I guess you might just be able to use just a bunch of wedges, but like 2 wedges go in the 2 different directions. That actually might be the best thing to do, but I want a hard surface. So what I used on the front brake is hell yeah. So we use these, and I think these are wide enough to catch both pistons. So yep, and maybe it should be a little wider. You know what I mean? Maybe these aren't wide enough where it's not going to catch both pistons. But I'm going to come in here. Oh, and I can just get this prepped. So I'm basically here and there, and then I'm just going to come all the way through. So metal's on both sides. It's getting both pistons. And then kind of what we're doing is we're just going to do a little tap tap. We're trying to push those pistons out as flush as possible. Now you can do some serious damage. You don't want to, you know what I mean? If this is tight as hell, you know what I mean? I think you're there. You know what I mean? Once that's like, hey, it's real rigid in there. So hopefully that's just totally flush. And, you know, I think it is. I think it is. Okay. So now we're going to, well, come over here. Get our little star deal. Make sure that sits flush. Just go real easy, just nice and firm and downward pressure. But okay, we're going to take off this. This is a nightmare because you can't just flip it up. I don't know, why would you make the reservoir sideways? And maybe there is just a better way and I just don't know. But we're going to undo this. Are we undone? I think we're undone. So, okay, perfect. We're going to get that break out. And maybe there's a better way to do this. You know, that's on you. Okay, catch a couple threads. All right, perfect. But I made my own little, you know what I mean, place to level this. So all this is just, you know, a little vise, a little towel, and 2 little shims. So it's nice and soft. And there you go. So now you can get this perfectly level. And we're just going to screw it in place. You know, it's a little rigged. It ain't falling off, so we're not doing any damage. Okay, for this one I need a 10T. So yeah, I love it. This is 3/8. This was an auto parts store. Get your Torx. You know, you can't trust Lowe's and Home Depot for this type of stuff. But anyway, so, whoa, maybe it's not that good. No, this just kind of came apart. Okay, I see. So we're gonna try to get that ball, and what's the deal? Where'd that ball go? Man. Yep. Anyway, we'll put this there. We got to get that back together later. But that's where the ball went. I was just like, well, what up? And then it just slides right over the top. Okay, perfect. All right, but well, let's get this undone. There we go. Yeah, I got tighten this just a little bit more. Okay, perfect. So this is getting undone. And this says .5.1, .4 fluids. That's what we got there. And we even got a syringe full of it. But I'm trying to do this real time because I did it on the front and we're just like, hell yeah, let's do it on the rear. You know what I mean? It works so good. So we got the lever down here. And the pistons are just, you know, totally out because we got a huge amount of... All right, let's get these out. Is that just not coming off? There we go. All right, so we got that off. Don't want it to fall or anything, but okay. So now what we're gonna do, just to make sure we're all well, we'll hit this lever a couple times. You know what I mean? Just make sure there's I don't know. Like this would be the time you'd be like, well, you could tap out all the air, but I think we're good there. Like that wasn't. I don't think that was the issue on this one. Whoops. But yeah, you could lower this thing, you know, lower this thing all the way down and see if any air bubbles can surface. But I think we're good here. I think we're good there. All right, so we're gonna fill her up. I think I already did that, but I don't know. Whoops. Yeah, and that's why the towel, you know what I mean? And okay. There's a couple of air bubbles. Let's just... Okay, all the air bubbles went away. But yeah, that's why you have these towels here. Holy Toledo. Because now what we're going to do is we're going to get these screws in place. And we're just going to make sure it's just going to be one and done. You know what I mean? We got one shot. One opportunity. Mom spaghetti. All right, here we go. So, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? We're going to hold this brake. Okay, we're going to try to hold as much friction into the brake as we can. There we go. See, now the brake's working. So you want to make sure the brake's working. But we're going to try to put tons of pressure on that brake. So there we go. So we're putting kind of pretty good pressure into that piston. You know what I mean? Pretty decent pressure. And as you can see from that squirtage. Okay, so we got good pressure there. I don't like that it's not level. So I'm going to come in like this. Ah, darn it. Okay, it's okay to take your time. Okay, we're going to tighten it right there. Man, I don't trust that this is totally full. All right. So dumb. So, now we just got a lot of air bubbles. All right, one last air bubble. Okay, I think that's totally full now. I think we do it. Like, oh shoot, almost losing things. It's all right. It's all right. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it just like I wanted to do it. So, how the hell? Okay, so I think I need to hold this with this hand and get that pressure on that lever just nice and firm, perfect. And then we're gonna drop this in, just float it like a boat. Just go real easy. There you go. And just catch some threads. Hardly any downward pressure. You don't want to introduce any air bubbles. All right, so we caught a couple threads there. Let's catch a couple threads here. Just nice and light. All right, just barely tight. Perfect. Okay, it's tightening up. Okay, just a little on each side. Okay, hell yeah. But see, I got really good pressure on this lever. You know what I mean? Just really good pressure. All right, so now I'm going to grab a dry cloth because we're going to kind of finish these up. So, all right, so I got the proper amount of torque on those bolts. Hell yeah. And we'll just double check, but yeah, you don't want to over torque them. Hell yeah. Okay, that's good. All right, sweet. All right, so hopefully this did a darn thing. I ain't doing this again. So whatever it did, it did. So we're gonna clean up all the oil, and we're gonna take it out of the little thing. Just make sure, you know what I mean, don't want all that oil everywhere. And we're just gonna do the same thing in reverse. Shoot, forget kind of where this goes, but I'm sure it. Okay, so that's going right in there, and this cable looks decent. And let's see. Yep. So that's kind of like that's how that was, I would imagine. Kind of didn't pay attention, but that's all right. All right, so we're going to loosen this. Okay, whoa, just right. That's what I was. That's pro. That was pro right there. That's exactly what I wanted to happen. And so now we'll catch that in there. All right, perfect. And I guess we're out here. I don't know why the hell wouldn't you want your brakes on? This is dumb. Well, we're gonna switch those up. Hell no. We're gonna put our brakes as far out as possible. You want to be far out on the handlebars as possible. I don't know why you wouldn't want to be as far out. But maybe it don't make sense with the shifting. You know what I mean? Like you're out here and it's too far. Yeah, we're going to get it back right where it was. So, you know what I mean? Probably a rhyme and a reason to that. But that wasn't even part of the video, is getting this back together. But we'll get it halfway decent. You know what I mean? Just get it halfway the same. Okay. Anyway, but that's not the moment of truth. The moment of truth is when we hammer this crap out and see if we actually have more room. You know what I mean? So, there we go. So we got our shims out, and this is pretty smooth metal. You know what I mean? It's not the smoothest metal, but you know what I mean? It's got some mill scale on it. And I don't know, you know what I mean? I'm gonna have you look first, and I don't know. Yeah, there's the camera. And I'll hold it where you can see it. There you go. I see what you see now. So are those pistons flush? You know, it's hard to get. They're gonna be as flush as they ever were, because we pushed in on those. But just to double check, I'm just so curious if, like, we're gonna come in here with just a screwdriver and just, if I can push on that, like, I'll be disappointed. Yes, so I can push on the bottom part just a little bit, and I don't know. I don't know. I can push on the pistons just a little bit more. So what I think I would do in the future, and I was going to do it for this video, but here's a ski scraper, and it'll be perfect because 2 of these ski scrapers won't fit in there. So I would cut these ski scrapers to size, and then ram a shim in. So I would actually, I don't know if I would waste this much, because these things are like $8. But what I would do is I would just take a ski scraper and cut it perfectly to size so it fits just like that. And then you know you're getting both pistons. You know what I mean? You know you're putting pressure against both pistons. These might have been a little bit narrow, where you're only catching... but then the other thing with this is you're only putting tension in on one side. So ideally, you would almost want to come in... You would want to get your 2 little pieces of plastic, and we'll see if I do this again. But yeah, if I want to do this pro, I would get 2 pieces of plastic, you know, hold them right here, and then get 2 of these. One coming up from the bottom, and then one coming down from the top. And then you're constantly keeping a flush surface on both sides. Because when I just rammed from this side, well, hell yeah, there's going to be a lot of tension right there. But because of this, so there's a chance that what I did actually just didn't work at all, because it's only putting tension just right at the top. You would want to use 2 shims to go all the way through. And there's a chance that you could just get composite shims that are just like perfect size, and you'll just ram one this way. Yeah, just ram 2 shims. So get one this way and one that way. So many ways to skin a cat. This is just kind of my current, but just showing you the physics that you're trying to push out those pistons. Push on that lever, fill it up, seal it, kind of have back pressure, so when you let go of this lever, the pistons will suck in. All right, so we got to get this going, and we need to get our brakes in. Woof. All right, we got to go easy on this. Holy Toledo. Man, do I trust myself not to touch these things? Man, not today. I'm just a little bit off. There we go. Okay, but we're doing it. All right, so we're same thing. Slide it in and then rotate kind of that 90 degrees. So we're going to see if that works. Maybe do it this way. And then rotate. Perfect. That's the way to rotate. But anyway, rotate in your disc brakes. Disc brake pads. And then we'll come down here and then just make sure, you know what I mean, they're seated where we want them. Okay, perfect. Nice and in there. There you go. And as long as this lines up, you're probably pretty close. hell yeah. Okay, perfect. Do I notice that there's more room? I mean, not really. I'd want to do it with that new technique, maybe use softer materials too. So I'd do that, get bigger, fill that space, 2 shims, push it out. But yeah, we'll see. We might just redo this, do the same setup, but just redo it and actually put more pressure on that lever so it puts more back pressure into the system. But we got it in, and let's throw the wheel in and see if we're good. You never know. You never know. It might be just the perfect amount of what we're doing. All right. Holy Toledo. Okay, there we go. All right, got it in there. And yeah, I'm gonna, new derailleurs, hell yeah, I'm gonna, big fat cassettes, I'm gonna back off that B-screw every time I'm putting a wheel in, because that derailleur just gets in the way. Maybe there's just a way to just kind of cock it and then set it so it's just not a bugger. All right, tighten your wheel to spec. Okay, there you go. All right, moment of truth. Now all we're looking for is just daylight. Like, do I see a little extra daylight around? I don't. Like the front one I did a little bit. Hey, yeah, this one I do. Yeah, I definitely just see just a little extra daylight. So let's see if you can see. I'll move the camera around just a little bit. And I should have done a litmus test right at the beginning to be like, but see, yeah, just on that inside. Inside, on that right inside, I definitely see that daylight. And I even see daylight on the other side. Okay, but the moment of truth is, you saw how impossible this was to move. So now we're going to see how much I can move it. Like, anticipate, this is where I throw 5 commercials at you. You know, YouTube. Okay, here we go. Hell yeah. See how much I can move that more? That is the moment of truth. You're just like, hell yes. So that's how much clearance we have now. So yeah, we have tons of clearance. We set that back pressure. We pushed out on those pistons hella. And maybe that's just what you do. But no, it's just like, you could push out with your levers, but there's so much pressure in that system. I did that on both these. I pushed out as much as I could, and then I went to install the brakes, and it was still tight as. So like holding that, like putting a wedge in there, holding that pistons fully open, and then even, you know, pushing into this piston and filling it. Hell yeah. And there's a chance, like, you're just like, no, you just got a big air pocket in there. But I don't think so. I don't think so. So anyway, and then now you have all this adjustment right here. So we can tighten this lever up and get it exactly where we want it. And at the end of the day, you just don't have another choice. You know what I mean? You can't run a brake that's just like barely tight in there, where like just the slightest wind is gonna engage your disc brake. That's crazy. It's probably dangerous. So hell yeah. So now we got the proper amount of room in there, and we set this back to our final location. And if you want to see me do this, I tuned this video in a video. I maybe made a long version. This might be the short version, but there you go. How to just tweak out just a couple millimeters extra room when you're installing and your disc brakes, especially the lever, when your lever is just too tight, when there's no gap right there. All right, we did it, and guess what? That's a video.